Have you ever noticed how much it bothers people when you go off the radar for a while? It almost feels like disappearing is a social crime, like being alone for too long is unforgivable. But here's the truth most people never say. Your real power comes from knowing when and how to disconnect. Sounds odd, right? Most of us grow up believing you have to always be available to be liked and valued. But nobody tells you this little secret. Stepping back sometimes is what actually reveals who cares about you, and more importantly, teaches you to truly enjoy your own company. A lot of people spend their days worried they'll be forgotten if they don't reply instantly. But here's the twist. When you choose to disappear for a bit, you actually become more present in the truest sense. Taking time for yourself, embracing some peace and quiet, pressing pause. It not only cleans up your relationships but also helps you filter out those toxic friendships and brings you a level of respect you won't get any other way. People who guard their energy stand out, and others start to notice. And what if I told you that taking these strategic breaks could change the way you live and the way you connect? You don't have to believe me right away. But if you want to see what going off the grid can do for your life, stick around till the end. Because once you learn the art of disappearing, you'll never go back to pleasing everyone all the time. The shock of absence, you're off week with no warning. No one's ever really prepared for you to just vanish. That's when the magic and chaos begins. When you decide to embrace solitude and go completely offline without warning, you'll see instant reactions. Group chats blow up with frantic, all-caps messages, and suddenly people freak out. It's wild how much everyone's gotten used to your constant presence, and sometimes, without realizing it, gotten stuck in toxic friendships or codependence. In those moments, your silence is louder than any words could be. It's like holding someone's breath without warning. They only realize the value of oxygen when it's gone. The moment you step back and set healthy boundaries, those who took your availability for granted feel a sudden emptiness. That shock opens everyone's eyes to the space you actually filled in their routine. In a way, it's nature's invitation for everyone, including you, to look inward. That's when it gets real. When people panic over your off mode, their true needs, expectations, and insecurities come rushing up to the surface. Solitude isn't just self-care. It's a way of teaching others to respect your time and space. Believe me, this shift in energy is only the beginning of the power you gain when you start reclaiming control over your life. And little do they know, disappearing a bit is just the tip of the iceberg. 2. Energy isn't free Wi-Fi. You know that knee-jerk feeling to check every ping, like something urgent depends on it? Maybe you've lived like this, responding to everything instantly without ever stopping to think what it's costing you. But over time, you realize energy is nothing like free Wi-Fi. Every notification you rush to check drains a drop of your focus, and eventually, you end up exhausted, your mood shot, and all your relationships more strained. Think about it. No one forgets to charge their phone, right? When the battery runs out, it's obvious you need to step back and recharge. So why do we forget to recharge our own minds and expect ourselves to be on 24/7? One of the best little experiments is putting yourself on airplane mode. Half an hour a day, unplug everything, and just notice how your mood and focus improve. It's self-care at its simplest, and a way to block out those toxic friendships that drain you. With small steps like ignoring notifications for a few extra minutes, you'll notice a real shift in your day. Silence becomes your friend, and looking inward isn't so strange anymore. It's actually freeing. Healthy unavailability stops being selfish and starts feeling like a new way to truly live. And the more you lean into it, the more you realize, by turning down all the outside noise, you start to actually hear yourself. Next up, realize how silence, when used right, is a mirror that shows you things you never expected. 3. Strategic silence, the unforgiving mirror. Ever noticed how a bit of silence has more impact than any long text? When you start practicing healthy unavailability, something powerful happens. People around you are forced to deal with your absence. They can't just rely on you all the time. The silence acts like a mirror, making everyone reflect on their own needs. Suddenly, those toxic friendships that leaned on you start to reveal themselves. Setting boundaries isn't just a limit. It becomes an invitation for real honesty for both sides. Carl Jung said we project on others what we don't want to face in ourselves. And you'll see this in action the moment you allow yourself to spend a few days in solitude. Every text you don't answer, every call you ignore, gives both you and the other person a chance to search inward. Sometimes not replying is more helpful than a quick answer. Taking little breaks from rescuing others lets everyone see where the friendship stands, and maybe what it's missing. So if you want to try out this silent mirror, try letting a few messages sit a while before answering. Watch how people respond, and notice how you feel with this new distance. It can feel weird at first, but that's the point. Self-care gets stronger, and your connections get lighter, more genuine. Which begs the question, how do you master being unavailable without becoming a total ghost and vanishing for good? Through the art of being unavailable without ghosting. Ever get that guilty feeling if you don't reply right away, like you just committed some social crime? Here's the good news. There's a sweet spot between total radio silence and being glued to your phone all day. The real magic happens when you build your healthy unavailability step by step, letting yourself pause, embrace quiet, without just vanishing off the face of the earth. It's not about becoming cold, it's about setting space for yourself, like blocking out sacred nothing time in your calendar, and discovering that being alone can be the best gift you give yourself. It's super easy to get sucked into buzzing notifications, but there are practical hacks for this. Think about replying to messages in your own time, muting apps for a whole day, or even setting a no communication day each week. Give yourself one Sunday, switch everything off, use that for self-care, and see how your mood shifts when you start setting these boundaries. You'll notice it changes how others treat you. Some toxic friends will push back, but solid relationships will respect your need for solitude. Trust me, organizing your schedule isn't just for control freaks. Try blocking out intentional free time and label it reflection or me time. You'll see your presence becomes more valuable, not less. People get used to the new rhythm, and when you show up, you're really present, not tired or annoyed inside. It changes your relationships and your day, and soon, for maybe the first time, you realize, learning to love your own company can change everything around you. 5. Individuation in real life. Have you ever tried traveling solo? Just you, no one else calling the shots? That's solitude in action. And while it may feel intimidating at first, it can be one of the most freeing things you ever do. When you choose to spend time alone, even just in little daily rituals, you start to feel a kind of healthy unavailability where silence becomes your best advisor. In those moments, when no one else can fill the space, self-care finally gets a chance to grow strong. You don't have to book a big trip to test this. Treat yourself. Go see a movie alone, try out a new cafe, or even just walk somewhere new by yourself. These choices force you to connect with your real self. Suddenly, toxic friendships lose their appeal because you realize you don't need emotional crutches to feel whole. When you're content with your own company, every other relationship becomes a genuine choice, not just something to fill a gap. The real breakthrough happens when you understand that being alone isn't the same as feeling lonely. It's actually an invitation to figure out who you really are. Looking inward stops being a heavy job and starts feeling light, even fun. The biggest win is that freedom to choose genuine connections, ones that are based on affinity, not on neediness. And the best part? Once you get a taste for being enough on your own, you'll only want more. Imagine what your life could become when you totally embrace your own company. Now is the time to put this into practice. Take the first step to protect your energy and build healthier connections. It's not always easy to unplug, but it gets easier. And soon you realize solitude and silence are your allies, not your enemies. Start simple. Carve out moments for yourself, turn off the notifications, and see how this shifts your day and your sense of well-being. The more you experience this kind of healthy unavailability, the easier it is to understand the real value of being alone and looking inward. You don't need a total life overhaul. Small changes are more than enough to spark real improvements, whether in your daily mood or in the strength of your relationships. Once you start, you'll never want to go back to the old, draining way of living. If you enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you don't miss out on more tips about solitude, self-care, and building real connections. And always remember, this is what it's all about. Find the way back to yourself. Every time you step away from the noise, you're making that journey. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.